Thank you everyone for coming along. I know a few coaches are trying to come in and dribs and drabs. But we're very mindful we've got 3 lots of presenters tonight, so we're going to try and stay on time so that the last guys aren't here until 9:30. So we're really lucky to have Adam Ford and from the Cairns Taipans presenting to start. So you're not here to listen to me, you can listen to him. So if we just put our hands together for Adam.
Appreciate it. Thanks guys, appreciate you guys having us here today. Nick's asked us to talk about playing with pace. Something that I'm learning very quickly is heavily personnel based, like with everything in basketball. This is my first year with Cairns, previously with Sydney, before that as an assistant with Perth, and even before that worked a little bit for Basel WA. So it's interesting, my original understanding or ideal to play with pace has changed throughout the years. One thing that remains consistent that I've probably appreciated more now, especially in these last 2 weeks with the pre-season Blitz, is you want to get pace, but not at the sacrifice of shot selection. You know, we're learning this now, my first year with Cairns and working with this group. We'll talk about some placements and things you want to look to execute in attack break, early on ball, early post as it rolls into your transition, and even some references to pickup points in terms of what is an ideal shot based on if the person can pull up for a transition 3. But the balance for us that we're finding, especially in the last couple of games, is guys' eagerness to pull up for a 3-pointer because they think they can. And also the point value for the shot at the rim, 3-point and mid-range. The first 2 games against Adelaide and Tasmania, we combined for 43 mid-range attempts, which is not great, especially when we only made 8 of them. The 3rd game against Perth, we went 0 of 1. And so I appreciate the guys from what we're going through with our critical film review, with what we're talking about as a team philosophy and identity, and our ability to translate it to now we're making some steady strides. So the plan is that we keep progressing the way we want to and we start converting into some wins. The thing that obviously helps in our favour at the moment is pre-season games are perfect to trial out a few things. So playing with pace, and it can definitely start in the back court. What I'll get you guys to do to start, just jump on the baseline for us real quick. And all I want are 2 guys. Give us 2 red shirts, 1 basketball. So one of the things we trialed that I did at Sydney, that we're doing again as well here at Cairns, is something we reference as freedom to fly by. Now there's some rules to it. So the idea behind it is right now, these 2 gentlemen are on defense, okay? And it's initiated by contesting a jump shot. So if they were able to generate a long closeout, we definitely say freedom to fly by. And the idea behind that is because you want to try and chase them off the 3-point line. You definitely want to contest the shot. And even if you're late to it, still try and be as disruptive as possible to get out and try and, you know, not block the 3, but at least contest it. So the way this starts, right, is let's get you at the nail for us, we'll get you collecting the rebound. And the whole point behind it is I'll look to shoot it, I want you to contest, and I just want you to go downfield. So start back for us, we generate a closeout, contest it, get the rebound, push the break, go. Cool. So 2 things firstly, come back, you don't ever stop. You just keep going, rim run, okay? So we'll reference this as a rim run. Freedom to fly by, get straight on the rim. Rebounder can look to get a escape dribble if he wants to get a bit of momentum. All right, so let's change the angle of it. 45, ready? Go contest it, go. Get it and go. Good. Okay, so playing with pace. Now, the theory behind it, right, is you're sending the guy down. So technically you lose a rebounder. But the theory behind it, right, is if we're talking 5-on-5, the guy that's freedom to fly by, well now it's 5-on-4. Rarely does a shooter get their own rebound unless it hits directly in front of the rim and it comes straight back to him. So then you weigh it up. How often does that happen compared to how often you're able to secure the rebound and get the ball down and attack break? So you technically got 4-on-4 if we don't include the rebounder getting his own rebound. So it's a 4-on-4 rebounding contest. Now, if we become super effective with it, what would the offense generally look to do after they shoot it? They'll get a safety, yes. So now it becomes a 4-on-3 in your advantage for the rebound. Now, if they start sending the safety back, you're less likely to be able to get a high outlet, look for an attack break, but it just increases your odds to get that rebound. So we did it for about 2/3 of the season with Sydney. The problem was we were a terrible rebounding team. So we ended up removing the freedom to fly by because we were generating way too many second chance points for the opposition. The flip side with issue in Cairns' team is I got a really good rebounding team. So I've brought it back. And we're still trialing it in a sense of the passing and the ball handling is a bit of a concern because right now after 4 games we're averaging 20 turnovers as a team, which is terrible, especially compared to last season's highest average was 12.9. So you allow for a little bit of flexibility in preseason to test the boundaries, right? Hey, let's look to kick it down floor. Let's look to see if we can get them right in the pocket. But it's a full court pass, it's on the run, the receiver's catching it, maybe he's got a defender behind him. How good is he at finishing the rim? Okay, so there's the first part. Now give us one more. Give us another red shirt for the sake of this. Perfect, ball with me. Teams might look to jam up. Have you ever heard that before? Yep. So Fern's big system as well was to try and slow down attack break, to increase your odds on offensive rebound, is to jam up. So the counter to that is, and again, if you've got the personnel for it, Mitch Creek's a great example of it in the NBL, where he can be a 4-man that can handle the ball like a guard. We had Jarrell Martin last year who played our 5 and handled the ball. Rob Franks for Brisbane, very similar. He can play a 4-5 and handle the ball like a guard. But you want to teach it throughout your entire team, where the idea behind it is as soon as you get that rebound, so let's get you get it, big man. If I look to jam up, okay, what I want to do is rather just to pass it to a guard, or even worst case, guards come back for it, which guards tend to have a tendency to do, that will now slow down your attempt to get him pace out of the backcourt, okay? So another thing we look to do is the big will get it, and he wants to clear some space with an escape dribble. So let's assume right now you've contested shot and you're down. Perfect, stay right there for me, good. I'm looking to jam you up and you're just getting some space and you're generating attack break yourself. But you might have a guard that is just really good at pushing the break, right? Real effective in the early on ball. So the next sequence we have with the freedom to fly by, if it's on, oh, and I forgot to mention, there's rules to the flyby. It has to happen above foul line extended. You can't fly by the corner and then run out. It has to happen above foul line extended. But let's say the guard wants the ball, we want a high outlet. And let's look to get it, perfect right there, outside the 3-point line. So increase your chances for pace. Freedom to fly by, escape dribble, so your big or your rebounder can initiate the break. And guards, don't loiter back for it. Don't hang back here looking for the ball. Look to get high and wide. Outside the 3-point line for high outlets. Okay? Give me 2 more, guys. Let's go both. Let's finish out another red. Perfect. Another red. Ball back. Oh, ball with me. So let's just get you guys to circle up real quick. You're going to contest and you're going to run out. But as soon as someone gets the rebound, I want you to hold on to the ball for us, right? But you can keep going, all right? So freedom to fly by. Oh, pretend to miss. Perfect. Hold it there. So once you've got the rebound, we're talking about you guys being out, okay? And then you want to get the ball in the middle and look to kick ahead. Now hold it there for us. Let's say you got a little bit further. Yep, hold it there. And let's say you make the pass to him. The other layer we can talk about a little bit further down, right, is a kick ahead. Okay, so go for it, you'll kick ahead. And you've got all the way into the charge circle, you're looking for it, hold it there. You don't get it, release out to the weak side dunker. Perfect, okay? So we layer it. How can we get a higher percentage of attack break? Well, let's look to do freedom to fly by. It's a risky one, right? It's not for everybody. But you can get escape dribbles, so your rebounder can be the one to initiate your break. High outlets, don't have your guards hang back underneath the three-point line looking to receive the ball, get them out beyond the three, and kick your heads down floor. Now, it's something we would track. So in my days in Perth, we used to track passes throughout the game. What we tend to find was it wasn't a true correlation of how effective your offense was. Change the topic real quick. Perth last year, so pace doesn't always necessarily relate to how successful your offense is as well. Perth last year were the #1 offensive rated team in the league, and they had the slowest pace out of everybody. And that was just because they were super clinical in the half court, and they had like a 40% offensive rating, so second chance points were through the roof. But if you want to increase the chance of pace, it helps in your favor because the highest points value possession you can get is in transition, okay? So as an example, and we broke all this down last year, the Cairns Taipans last year had a 1.15 points per possession in early offense. And so what I basically mean by that is attack break, anything in the first 6 to 8 seconds, attack break, early post, early on ball, which is extremely effective when you think about it, where as long as you can talk about spacing, getting the ball down court and looking to attack, you're going to generate over half a point. So your effectiveness rate is well over 50%, which is ideal. When you talk about half court sets, teams would, let's say a horns, a flex, a shuffle, whatever you mean, at best at the NBL, it's about a 0.9. So it's less than a point per possession. So to generate more attack break, all right, is going to be beneficial for your offense. And the reason is because the defense is not set yet. All right, the defense isn't set. So if you can get the defense on the back foot, that's what helps contribute. So there's your first layer, right? Bring it back down this end for me, guys. Let's flip it. So let's get it. You got the ball. Let's say I have you at half court, you trailing in. You're in the dunker spot for me. Let's get you out in the wing. Let's get you in the corner. Okay? So as we start to progress over the timeline and we get into the front court, now we want to talk about maintaining the integrity of our spacing to allow driving angles. What we always want to have is the guys who are down, I want you to get below the break. So guards who are sprinting, if they don't have the ball and they don't get the kick ahead, they can't stop. They can't stop here. They can't stop at the 45. They got to get below the break. Now, if they really look to attack, I don't mind them bouncing off the baseline, which is still simply getting a foot on the baseline and then lifting back up for this shot. But ideally, I just want them to get below the break, okay? So you'll get all the way down below the break, and then you can look to trail in, hold it there. And then I like the idea of having you in the dunker spot. So the freedom to fly by guys at the rim, he's looking for it, he doesn't get it, release out to the dunker spot. One of the rules that we have is if you decide you're a pretty good three-point shooter and you don't want to stay in the dunker spot and you clear out to the corner, you lift him up. Yeah, no, you'll lift up. Yep, you'll lift up. So we always, if we pass and cut, we want to feel from the baseline up on the weak side. We never want two guys to occupy the same spot. And the rule is if I enter yours, it's on you to leave. And it just sort of helps with the ball movement and maintain the spacing. So, but let's get you in this dunker spot again. Let's get you in the corner. Okay? So you guys all heard of like driving kick before? Like receiver principles, I think is another wording for it. When I worked with Bevo, he used to call it receiver principles. Trev Gleason, he called it driving kick. And then another one we brought in when I was working with Will was Nash and Slash. And that was based off Steve Nash. And what we're saying now is, and again, technically we're still in that first 6 to 8 seconds, right? We're still talking about our early offense, is that we don't want to just walk it down and say, all right, we're in horns. Okay, we got the defense in the back foot. So you can look to drive. So you drive and then you're going to wheel with him. Okay, you could trail him behind or maybe you find a window. Okay, if you haven't got down to the corner yet, you definitely get down to the corner, right? But let's say you make that pass. Cool. Let's say you fill in. Okay, now you got the option to wheel around, or you could clear out from the weak side of lift. Now you drive. Yep. Now you'll wheel with him again. Yep. Probably not that though. Drive all the way to the basket. Hold it there. So you got the drive and kick, which is sort of like the first one we did. The Nash and Slash is more based on the fact that they've got a low split coverage. A captain, a lot of NBA guys call it the MIG, most important guy. So if they've got a big 7-footer right here, so go back a little bit. So he's being his man on the perimeter, okay? He looks to drive. I got a big 7-footer here. If you try and go up against it, you're gonna get blocked. Well, at best case, he just walls up, gets some verticality. It's a contested layup and they get the rebound and they go themselves. So what we also look to do is Nash and Slash. So for the sake of this, just wheel out to the 3-point line for me. And as you come through the keyway, you'll keep dribbling, dribble, and you'll come out the other side. And it's named after Steve Nash, so Nash and Slash. And what we have is you cut through and then you find a window. And finding a window is basically just trying to get into a pocket where the ball carrier can see you for that catch and shoot. All right? So just to recap a little bit on that first layer of attack break is freedom to fly by, high outlets, initiated by the rebounder, gets an escape dribble, kick aheads, get below the break, release out to the dunker, no two players occupy the same spot, and it's virtually 5 spots around the perimeter, the 2 dunker spot, and you can drive a kick, Nash and Slash. And if you can get that in the first 8 seconds, that's just going to increase your likelihood of getting a rather effective attack break. Any questions on that before we move on?
Just one. So you said about that you spent about 2/3 of the season in the flyby. Just how long would you stick with that concept before you change it? Like getting people used to that new.
No, great question. So when we ran it in the preseason, and we were great. We played a couple of games against Illawarra. It was super effective. And what helped was because we had Xavier Cooks. And so X, like the Mitch Creek, it was designed around him getting that ball off the rim and looking to attack break and kick aheads, and it was great. He injured himself in the second game of preseason, and now he's out until 8 games left in the season. So on part, there was a little bit of stubbornness from my end to say, hey, I want to keep doing it, because there was just enough teaser each game where we're like, hey, we got it. Like, hey, we got a couple of times with Jarrell Martin, we got a couple of times with Craig Moeller, even Sean Bruce. Like, you know, we were getting it with guards. In the end, when you sort of looked at the numbers and said, okay, what we're giving up on the offensive rebound side of things was greatly outweighing, and it wasn't just simply that freedom to fly by, the ball hit the front of the rim and came back to him. We were just getting beasted on the rebounds. So I think it was evident after we played New Zealand at home, or New Zealand on the road, and we got it with Jarrell Martin, but we gave up 23 offensive rebounds, and it was the 4th game out of the last 5 we had given up 18 or more offensive rebounds. So then it was, okay, well, even when X comes back, he's going to be like load managed in, and he's not going to be super effective straight away because he's been out for 2/3 of the season. So I got to the point where I had to weigh it up and go, okay, we're just burning too much, getting burnt too much on the offensive rebounds, and had to make that change. So look, it's one of those things, right, when you talk about, do you trust the process, trust the system? If it's something you really want to do, especially at the junior level, which I've always entertained and done it, it's been great. Like it's been fun and it's been great to do. But it's heavily reliant on whether you're a good rebounding team or not. And again, like by the end of the season, for everything that we ranked fairly well in at Sydney, we were the 6th best rebounding team out of 8, which is not great. So probably hung with that way too long.
Is there any players that you wouldn't fly by? Like, is there any rule that it's like, for example, Bryce Cotton rebounds his own shot really well if he knows it's not going to go in?
Yeah.
Would you fly by him?
Well, the funny thing is that's exactly what. So we played Perth only a couple of nights ago, and we flew past him. We missed the first one, hit the front of the rim, come straight back, and Bryce splashes it. It's a tricky one, right? It is an interesting one. I've always said too that the freedom to fly by is not always like you got to do it every single time. It's opportunistic. So, and what I mean by that was like the long closeout. Let's just, for the sake of argument, Yellow, you jump out, you're on defense. You've got the ball on the wing for me. Perfect. Let's get you now in the dunker spot. Everybody match up on someone. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, right? You drive baseline, you get beaten off the dribble. Boom. Right? So let's say the captain steps up. Let's say you make a pass to the corner. Cool. But hold on a sec. You'll be here, right? Because you'll be on him because he's right there. Good. Right? Extra. Now hold it there. So what's happened now is the offense has generated a long closeout. There was a blow by. The captain had to step up, take ball. They've created a scramble scenario. So on that extra pass, now you'll stay. You'll never close out a shot to close out another shot. So now you've generated that long closeout. We want to say, hey, let's go get him. Like, I don't just want to stand here and be like, oh, crap. A late long closeout is still better than none. So simply by doing it, you chase him off the line. Let's say you still shoot it, and then you run out and you go. And so your momentum just takes you. Because the other cool thing about that is generally when you've generated a long closeout, it's because there's about 4 dudes in the keyway. So it just naturally increases your rebounding. If they've got a blow by and there's been rotations, hopefully you would think for the most part the support's in the keyway. Where you wouldn't do it is ball at the top here. You're just playing this straight up. Yeah, go to you, man. Playing it straight up one-on-one, you shoot it, and then you just decide to go. No, you wouldn't want to do it then because you've played pretty solid defense, finish out the possession, just get the rebound. But yeah, so again, when we talk about freedom to fly by, the reality is you probably only get it like 8 to 10 times a game if you tempt fate. Cool with that? All right. So, young man, let's get you with the ball out here. Here's another thing. And we started tempting this a little bit. And again, this is heavily personnel based. So on the defensive side of things, we'll refer to pickup points. And so when we talk about Bryce Cotton, for example, we'll have an imaginary 4-point line. So you're Bryce Cotton, be further back for me. You come up here, and we'll talk about this being the pickup point for Bryce Cotton. All right. If we talk about someone who's a half decent shooter, but known more to get downhill and drive, so let's say a Nathan Sobey can shoot the 3, but loves to get downhill. We'll talk about a pickup point here being the 3-point line. And then if it is a non-3-point shooter, but loves to drive, Luke Travers, for example, we'll talk about a low pickup point, and you can be there. So on the flip side, what we also encourage us offensively is if this is Scott Machado, and we worked out the last 3 years of Scott Machado on a transition 3 is 38%, I'll say to Scott, hey, as you bring the ball down the floor, recognize their pickup point. And if their pickup point is below the 3-point line, I want you just to shoot it. Have confidence in that I want you to shoot it. And then if we communicate that through to the team, then the reality is also we fall that into the category of that's a predictable shot. So then his teammate can come down, recognize he's not getting picked up, Scott Machado's going to shoot it, and then we can go on and crash for the rebound. So again, it's another thing with trialing, right? Because this is sort of goes back to my first point of reference is I like the idea of playing with pace, but not at the sacrifice of shot selection. So the thing we've had with Scott right now, and he's been real good, and he probably won't mind me talking about this with you guys, but he's shooting 25% in the last 4 games. So now we say, okay, Scott, maybe we put that cue on the rack a little bit, and we look to get a little bit more attack break and get on the rim. But if he's feeling good and he's feeling up and about and that percentage picks up, then that's something we can explore. Now, that rule doesn't apply to anybody else on the team, all right? Because no one else has that effectiveness. Now, this is the beautiful thing, especially with NBL, is you can look up these numbers. You know, you can get access to all their games, and you've got video guys who will say, hey, I want you to go find every single one of Scott's shots. Tell me all the ones where he pulls up for it in transition. Tell me how effective he is. We can get those numbers. It's a little bit trickier, obviously, at like a junior level or even at NBL 1 level. But that's another thing that we talk about there, encouraging pace out of the backcourt is your pickup points, okay? Then you roll into two things, early on balls, early post. Now you also got a series of like wide screens, which you can do, but if we're still talking about pace, now we're sort of going into the realms of that 6 to 8 seconds. So your first 6 seconds, if you can get that attack break, great. In that 6 to 8 seconds, you want to explore the opportunity for early on ball. We did a ton of early on ball in Sydney last year. This year, I'm looking to get a ton of early post, just because that's the personnel that we got. So you can trail in, be a 3-point pickup point for me. Perfect. Trail into an on ball, hold it there for me, okay? So as we look to get into an early on ball, everything you want to have is a scoring opportunity. So you just don't want to go through the motions of it. It could be a ball reversal into an early on ball, or if you've got a super effective point guard and he just wants to get into an early drag screen, so be it, okay? So you can set that early on ball. Let's say they defend it well, nothing comes about it. You shorten that pass for me, kick it on, get into a little two-man game, circle out to the other dunker spot. They defend that well, hold it there. Now, attack break and early offense is done. And this is where I've got a great group that is super coachable. And again, how we've already progressed in preseason, our first game in the preseason to our last game has been like we're making nice changes and you know, targeting our KPIs, especially in terms of shot selection. So now that attack break and early offense is done, you have to run a set. Defense done a good job defending it. Now I'm not going to say shoot that just for the sake of shooting it. We're not going to be that team that's going to say, hey, like we get 90 possessions a game and we lead the league and we're the fastest in the league, but yet we shoot at 42% and anybody's just shooting and putting up whatever without any rules or defensive structure to it. So then after that, it'll be a case of what is your secondary transition? Australia's known for flow. We pinched actually an Israeli play because it's really good, I think. Perth will get, or old Perth, you should just use this and they'll pass it on and flow it into flex. Everybody's got something different, but it has to be clinical. So pace now, and this is really important, and even as we're starting to expand on it with the Taipans, is pace out of the backcourt is quick, but it doesn't have to be like chaotic and fast. So we're talking about getting below the break, okay? When we get to the half court, we don't want to rush through things. We want to allow that early on ball to take place before we start cutting and moving on the weak side. If there's a two-man game, right, we want to allow the four-man to explore his option, create a better angle for him to get into the dribble handoff. And so now the understanding is it's not about being fast, quick, and speed, but it's about the timing of things. So you actually slow it down to be able to get things a little bit more effective. Luke Longley used it with the Boomers, and he referenced music, the beat of the drum. And so it's the actual, the space between the notes is where the music happens. And it's similar to your half-court set. If you just got guys sprinting into screens, the point guard doesn't set up his defender, doesn't wait for the on-ball, then there's no connection on the defender. It either becomes an illegal screen or they just defend it and they stay connected to their man. So allowing that time in between the notes in your half-court sets still is part pace, but it's not so much about speed like it is in transition. You guys got any questions on any of that? I sort of just wanted to open up the last 10 minutes to Q&A on anything that you might have. It doesn't have to be pace or playing with pace related. It can be anything NBL, it can be anything basketball related, completely open.
Game the other night, you had a super athletic guy come on in Kuno Pinder.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and he was on for a minute and a half, shot an air ball.
44 seconds to be exact.
Went pretty sick at him. I thought the concept of having practice matches was giving probably greater opportunity than 44 seconds to so-and-so
For sure.
young. The reasons why you put him off and he didn't come back on was...
Great question. So with my assistant coaches up the back, we've developed one of the things that we wanted to do, especially because this is a new coaching staff that we brought into Cairns. We've got some returning players in the roster and obviously some new guys coming in. We developed a thing called roadmaps. And the whole point behind the roadmap was to say, hey, this is your value as a basketball player on this team. Not talking about you as a human being, not talking about how much of a cool dude you are, but this is your value in terms of a basketball player on the court. Now, Keanu Pinder is in the 97th percentile in the league when it comes to, especially when we talk about playing with pace, playing into a drag screen and becoming a lob threat. So as you're flowing into that early offense and the early on ball, he's in the 97th percentile in the league for setting that screen, rolling to the rim. And it doesn't, him being the result. So that can be either setting the screen to create for his teammate, that can be the receiver of the pass and scoring it, drawing a foul, or also creating an assist out of it. So we've worked on that all preseason with him. And it was basically also a nice way of sort of saying, hey, Keanu, stop shooting mid-range shots because they're not that good. And stop shooting threes. Not completely stop shooting them, but let's limit them. So when we talk about the volume of the shot, because guys, this is the one thing, especially with basketball players, is they love the idea of they want to score more points, right? But you can achieve that without having to necessarily shoot more shots. All I want to do is find what you're really good at, and Synergy is a great program for this, for NBL and a lot of the national leagues. Find what you're really good at, increase that volume. Find what you're pretty average at, and decrease the volume. So in Keanu's Pinder was set the drag screen and roll. Don't short roll and don't settle for the mid-range. So we did this throughout his whole preseason. And then I referenced back to the first two games where we played Adelaide and Tassie, and we were 8 of 43 for mid-range shots. So it wasn't just a slight on Keanu because he subs in first play of the game. We run a side out of bounds play. He's got Mikhail McIntosh. He backs him in, fade away, misses the mid-range. Didn't sub him out straight away for that. But we did the film session. We talked about the value of a shot and shot selection. So now we roll into the Perth game. And where I referenced before, right, I said we were 8 of 43 for mid-range shots. Against Perth, we were 0 of 1, and he was the 0 of 1. So after all of that, we roll through. He gets one at the elbow. Now understand too, Keanu's the most athletic dude we've got on our team. He dunks on all his teammates. That was a straight line dunk on the rim. Vic Law was connected to Nate, who was cooking at the time. Didn't want to leave Nate, had a wide open lane, and didn't dunk it. Settled for an air ball floater. We go down the other end, and we talk about the value of points in attack break. So on the defensive side of things, we're real clear on what our rules are in transition defense. And when we get back, Carl Zunic's wide open, Keanu's man at the time, because in transition D, anyone guards anyone, so you generally want to fill from the declared ball, find most dangerous, fill it from the strong side, last guy back takes the weak side. Keanu was left in the paint guarding no one, and Zunic banks a three. Timeout called, sub him straight out. So that was more of a result of the week leading into it, rather than me just making an example about him right then and there. That was more of a case of the film session that we had leading into it, what we're trying to hold him accountable for, where we value him as a player and what we're trying to minimize. As a result, he played last night and did really well. He was 8 points, 11 rebounds, and helped us help build a bit of a lead before we blew it. So yes, so preseason, yeah, and this is what we'll find as well, especially with our last game coming up. We've got some sore bodies that we know we want to sort of manage and monitor, knowing that we got Perth the following weekend. So we'll play a little bit more of the young fellas and give them a crack, but not at the expense of what we're trying to get disciplined with, especially on the offense and defensive end.
You played under Will Weaver and Trevor Gleeson, and with them, coached with them.
Yeah, yep.
Tell me about them, the differences in them, and whether you enjoy their coaching styles.
Yeah, so I had 6 years with Trev, and I appreciate the fact that I call it the school of hard knocks. Trev was as brutal as they come, and I say that not in a negative way. The standard, if I didn't go through Trev's coaching system, coaching team, I wouldn't be before you guys right now. Real methodical, structured, boundaries, even time schedules, down to 8:27 you had to be doing this by. There was no roundup with Trev. And it showed also in his offense. So where I referenced Perth being the slowest paced team in the league, they were the number 1 offensive rated team. And that's out of a half court set, and that's really hard to do. They were number 1 in turnover percentage in terms of they protected the ball the most. And their whole offense is revolved around passing and screening. So, you turn the ball over less when you're playing pick and roll because the ball's not in jeopardy when you're moving it around. Perth moved the ball around because they ran flex and set down screens and got Bryce open, and they looked after the ball. And that was a direct link to Trev's coaching style. So you're in every morning and there was tasks and jobs to do, and everybody stayed in their lane and you knew what your role was, and I appreciate that more than ever. And I think, especially with my first year coaching with Sydney, I appreciated that style more as the season went on, because you got an idea where you want to be. I think this is a great method of coaching. But as the season progresses on, you start to appreciate the little things that he did, which I didn't understand at the time. You'd be like, why is he such a hard ass about this? But then you get it, right? You actually get it. What was cool about Will was real NBA background, but he also had an influence with Australian basketball, coaching with the Boomers. So he sort of brought in a bit of an American NBA flavor to the way we done things, which was like music in the warm-ups, like in the gym, playing music. We never did that at Perth, and I do that now with Cairns. Juki's in charge of the playlist, so it's a good variety from day to day. He keeps you on your toes with what he's going to play, but something different. And that also translated to his coaching style. He was a little bit more relaxed. He got tossed out of that one game, but the reality was he was really a personable guy. So you felt more comfortable going around to Will's house, having dinner and having a bit of a yarn, where Trev, you sort of, you stiffened up a little bit and you made sure you knew what you were talking about, and he was more of the boss. And the thing was, both systems worked. They really worked. What I appreciated more than from anything is they did what they were good at, and they didn't try to be something they weren't. And I learned that, especially at Sydney, where you got an idea of, I'll really like to do this, but then, okay, when the pressure's on, I actually don't do that at all. I don't like that. I'd rather do this. And so again, this is what I referenced before, where I start to appreciate Trev more than ever when I became a head coach. And yet by the end of my 6 years, I was ready to go man, I can't do another year with you, brother. I'm done. But it's definitely a good mix.
Watching Cairns previous years, a lot of the players have probably taken shots that aren't their shot, and you think, why didn't you give the ball somewhere else? How are you finding that?
Yeah.
Coming into the team now and playing them and knowing some of the dumb decisions some of them made previously.
And I guess it's an interesting one where I want to be conscious of the fact that these guys are really good in there. I don't want to restrict their creative freedom to do things. And so I'm still trying to find that balance now. How do I set boundaries that doesn't make these guys feel like they're so restrictive? And I guess that's what I said in the media, and I definitely get misquoted, which I'm still learning how to deal with that media game. But it is a little bit of reprogramming, and that wasn't by any means to be a slight on the previous year's coaching staff or their previous coaches before. But it is a case of, I get that you look up to Kevin Durant and he dribbles the ball 20 times and he pulls up for that elbow mid-range, but he's the best player in the world. And I'm not saying you can't get there, but I'm saying that's not what we need as the Cairns Taipans in the NBL right now. So the one thing that I'll always do, and one thing I've always been, feel like I've been good enough to get, is everything's always evidence-based. So I won't just go to Juki, hey Juki, stop shooting these because they're not working for you. It's like, hey, let's go watch this video and show how you went 5 of 27 last year and let's talk about where we can get you better scoring opportunities. So it's a bit of a balance, right? It's a bit of a, hey, I still want to explore the creative freedom for you guys to play basketball and enjoy it, but I want to do it in the realms which is going to be productive for the team. We're going to get some good point value out of it, but also you're not going to tick off your teammates because they're going to go, well, I'm being told I can't shoot that, now he's allowed to shoot that. So it's definitely balanced. I'm still working on it, and again, ask me again midway through the season, see if I got any better at it and see if we've improved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your time, and hands together, hey, run.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having us all come in. Yeah, clearly offensive skill work and how we continue to get better. I thought I can come here and give you guys a whole bunch of different things of what I like and where I feel basketball's at and where it can improve. But overall, this is about what you want. And I've just watched these kids all stand around. I know that as we're all talking, we're all here to get better and understanding. And for me, when you talk about offensive skill work and how they get better, it's play. You know, put them in situations where they play, they get to learn, and you keep showing them different things. This is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm doing. I'm not yelling at you. You're going to turn the ball over. You have to allow for people to adjust and allow for them to make mistakes and then try and correct them. Now, as we all know, and as kids, we can keep banging our head on the same wall over and over again, and we don't like it, and we all think that, oh, that's, you know, he just doesn't get it, I'm just going to take that out. Well, try and put him in a different situation. You know, try and show them something different. And as Ford just said, you know, you can put them in, show them by video, walk them through it, talk to it. And if that doesn't work, then clearly maybe you're not that person that's going to get through to them. And we've had this plenty of times where you're coaching with certain guys, you're like, I can get the best out of this kid. Well, I beg to differ. And we've seen this on many players throughout the platform of the NBL. But I'm going to get Jamie to just introduce himself, because clearly he's a legend of the game and played. And I know that when I say legend, as a player that's played in the league for a long time, it's as you admire everyone that plays, from Kerry to everyone that's played in the NBL. And it's, while I might have got to a higher standard or got rewarded for a lot of different things, one thing that I'll say to all these kids here is, while you know everyone that's in Tasmania for your age group, like I know Ben and a few other guys that I've played against from my junior days that are Tasmania kids, and respect the game, but also appreciate everyone's journey and how they get here, because it's not easy. For you guys as coaches, it's not easy to coach kids, coach men, and deal with all sorts of situations that are also gone in your own lives. So appreciate everyone's journey, but I'm going to get Pearl just to introduce, and I'm going to get these kids warmed up, and then I'll come back and talk to you. So hand over to Jamie Perlman. Grab basketball. Here we go. Everyone get a ball.
I was a defensive player. Okay, that's what I did. I was the guy that chased around Andrew Gaze and Shane Hill and just tried to make their lives as hard as possible. Okay, so not always that successfully, but that's what I did. I was just an annoying guy. So I prided myself on my ability to play defense one-on-one. Okay, my ability to do all those hard things, do all those little things. So when today was about offensive skill development, well, straight away it was like, well, I've got a perfect guy for you today. that is obviously CJ. CJ and I were sitting here talking about, okay, what are we going to cover today? CJ started talking about, you know, like this and that, and this one, I played this guy and this guy, you know, here, this view and that. Going, that's what we're talking about, CJ. That's exactly what you're saying to me right now. You know, all about those his experiences as a player, how he read his defensive play, how he broke them down, and yeah, all those little subtleties that come from being a great offensive player.
So again, just to warm up, around across the court, one dribble between your legs, one dribble between your legs. Here we go, over and back. So, like always, when I'm coaching and as a player, you all probably have heard of my father. So, doing everything, it's first of all, find out kids that love it. There's some kids that don't love it, they're just good at it, right? And you got to keep evolving. Right now, between the legs, one bounce, between, one bounce, between. And when I sit down on the spot, between, sit down, and then step and go. Here we go, over and back. So keep everyone involved and keep working on their skills. No matter if you're 5-man, and as always, positionless basketball is big for me. I always feel like I'm 6'10". In my household, I am. My dad is 5'8", and my son is now bigger than me, so I'm feeling like, you know what, he's bigger, good luck to you. I hope that you learn everything else. Right now, behind the back, on your behind the back, it's the jump stop. Jump stop, behind the back. Again, sit down. My mum always told me, on the way back, you're gonna dribble the ball, smack the opposite butt cheek, the ball bounces back up into your hand, okay? So, over and back. So yeah, I guess my ability of learning the game, I learned all different ways. Playing with my friends, playing with my brother, outdoor courts, which my kid doesn't like today, but it's something that he needs to appreciate a little more. Skipping, over, coming backwards. Here we go. So on the offensive skill set, when we start talking, I'm gonna move from what you do, which this is a normal workout. I normally do 5 minutes, right, of all this sort of stuff, getting them all warmed up, and then I'll move it to 2-ball. I'm here to unlock their brains. Basketball is about, as Ford just spoke about, it's about pair up, closest guy. It's unlocking their brains, letting them play, because you become an elite player by learning on the fly. And what coaches do, and which my coaches have been grateful for, they've been great for me, and I've been great for them, of here's what I see. Coming to them with new ideas. Right now, first person with the basketball, you're gonna alternate the dribble, you're not gonna walk really slow, you're gonna jog. Alternate the basketball, you're gonna go just to the other side of the lane line and come back. Here we go. Alternate the dribble. So again, having excitement and fun, as 40's talked about music, big part of my life. Rhythm. Rhythm is important. And everyone has different rhythm. Some like to bounce, nice. Some have the shake. And in the game of basketball, there's a lot of different things. Now you're gonna alternate, so we went alternating. One ball is gonna stay close to the body. You're gonna change directions, but alternate the dribble. Here we go, over and back. All this sort of stuff, again, unlocking their brains, keeping their eyes up, and you start watching them what they do, how they control the ball, just containing it, controlling it. Eyes are down, he needs to keep his head up. Looking down, eyes are down, and we don't play with 2 basketballs, but that's not the point. The point is, when I dribble the ball down the floor, he's open, can I see him and get off and pass the ball? By doing all these little things, I'm trying to see who can do what, and who's got the skills. The rhythm, feeling the ball, knowing where the ball's at, how to get better. Now, one ball between the legs, changing direction. Alternate the dribble, over and back. Here we go. And so all this stuff that I teach to these kids, and while I say you might not be good at it, it's about trying, as we all know. I got a kid with Asperger's. He's 10 years old. So working with like all walks of life of, hey, I'm here to help and try to unlock you. And while my kid struggles, I said, son, the fact that you tried it is the best thing that I know. And you're not, in my eyes, he's not going to be a basketball player. And I do not care. Like, I'm not that guy. My son wants to be an NBA player. An NBL player, actually, my oldest. But as for my middle son, I just care for that he wants to try any sport. And whatever he wants to do, give your best. Unlocking their brains, be appreciative of how they're trying and giving their best effort. So, we went between our legs, now behind the back. Alternate the dribble, sitting down on the spot. Here we go. So all the skills that I showed them that they were doing when they're doing it on 0, now they're doing it controlling both basketballs. I'll get a little more trickier here, a few things that they haven't seen that they need to work on. Again, working on their in and out, so all these drills are combinations of, as I said, controlling the basketball, working their minds, being able to control it, keep their head up and still dribble the ball. Some look very uncoordinated, from Matt Hodgson to Nathan Sobeys of this world, and this is the stuff that I will put them through every day so they can continue to get better. So, you're going to alternate the dribble. One hand touches both basketballs, other hand touches both basketballs. So you're going to go over, alternate. I don't play Bongos, I play the bongos, so there you go. Over and back, here we go. Alternate, and let go, same hand. So just for them to try and figure out what hand, when I let go of the inside ball, so I let go of the outside ball, let go of this one, and then touch that one, touch the one back. Pick it back up at the same time. And right now, just unlock their brain of who can pick it up, who's going to work it out, who doesn't. It's a skill where they're like, oh, well, the ball's bouncing, it takes an extra bounce, clearly they haven't got it. And I can walk them through it, but that's also defeating the purpose of, you're going to go home and try it. And one thing, when you have a hoop and you shoot it and you get in, you're like, wow, the ball went in. Go try it again. When you miss, you want more of it. Now, as I bounce the ball, when I let go, I'm going to pull the ball over. Pull the ball over. So you're going to end up going more towards the right first. Bounce the ball, in and out, pull it over, pull it over, pull it over. On the way back is the left hand. Alternate, pull it over, in and out, pull it over. Here we go, over and back. Eyes are down, head's not up. And again, all simple stuff, but all probably something that they don't do a lot of. While they're warming up, feel free to shoot me questions, right? So I've got 2 more things for them to do, but after I show them this next drill, I'm happy to take questions. You're gonna go over and back, so that walk the dog, as you just did before, you were skipping, but every time you bounce the ball, you're going through your legs. Here we go, over and back. Alternate the dribble. Alternate the dribble. Any questions first? No questions? Now that's poor. That is, but I know someone's got, yes, go ahead.
How much of coaching analysis for you guys is not only your opposition players, but also your opposition coach? In the sense that this is what CJ Bruton does every week, or this is what Adam Ford does every week. How is that part of the analysis process of coaching, or is it concentrated on court players?
Definitely on, I think more on the individual player. Like, I don't really focus on a coach. Like, I see their style, what they like, but it's more about the player personnel. And as you know, each kid here has a strength and weakness. As he talked about Keanu Pinder, I'll let him shoot that shot. The mid-range shot, that's what I want him to shoot. So I'll bait him into that shot. So almost take that away. Good job. Oh, let me see that. So we've done the in and out. So you'll go pass that ball this way. You two will go join this group. As you're going to dribble both basketballs, so you pass the ball that way, and you're going to stand in front. Yep, give him that, and stand in front. Alternate the dribble. Eyes up. When I throw this ball, it's going to bounce. You're going to pass that ball to me, and you're going to cross that ball to the other hand. So alternate the dribble. Eyes up. Start walking this way. Good. Keep walking. You walk that slow? Good. Good. Here we go. Over and back, and then on the way back, your partner goes. Keep your head up. Here we go. Over and back. So skill-wise, it's eye-based working. I try to make my players, again, as I said, unlock their brains to play as free as possible, to give them, here's a concept. What is right, what is wrong? In sports, who knows what the right thing is? I'm trying to maximize my talent and get the most out of it. Now, when I look at Adelaide 36ers coming in, everyone's like, wow, CJ, what team you got? I'm like, well, I'm staring at the whiteboard like, But I'm like, how many pick and roll players do I have? Who's great in that space? How many rebounders do I have? I got a lot. How many post players do I have? I got a lot. How do I help them get better? Have you had to go? Okay, good. You had to go? Good. So my whole range of how do I put you in a position to be successful, which helps us. What I ask for is a commitment on the defensive end. As 40 said, there's some things that are, here's what I want. We're going to bust through screens. For this age group, it's against their own kids, their age group, great. They play against myself or Perlman, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get hit. Oh yes you are. Welcome to the big leagues. So you need to learn how to fight through, which is that background of being able to play football and learning how to get through stuff. AFL, rugby is beneficial, which is great. Right now we're working on finishing at the rim. So at the rim, let's get line right here. You're going to penetrate. Pellman, you stand on here, you're going to drive at Pellman. And we're going, first we drive, spin, and pick it up. Finish, yep. Left, right. So spin, 1, 2, finish with your left hand, get to the other side. Finish it at the rim. Here we go. Once you go one side, go the other. Pearl, you just keep working them. So building everyone's skill set, working them. Defensively, it's focus on how do I help a player get better. And again, I start with all my players. Big, small, finishing at the rim, being able to play off 2 feet, work on your footwork. Skill development is about footwork, is about understanding how do I get open, how do I create space, how do I make great decisions. So for me, what is the best way to help these kids get that is first teach them how to finish. Can they do the correct footwork? Correct them on it. Like if you let this slide here, when it comes game time, they get called for 2 and you're like, well, we had 17 turnovers. Well, you're at fault because you don't work on it. And in a 2-hour practice session, and I've said this a lot of, in 2 hours, there's a lot that I can't get done, you know, in a normal practice session. I can't go get more shots up for you. So as pro players, I'm telling my guys of how many shots do you get up before practice? How many do you get up afterwards? For myself, it was something that my dad's like, if you want to learn how to make a bucket, you got to go put in the work. That's 6 a.m. in the morning. That's before school. Now after school, when I'm with my team, I only get 10 shots. When a normal practice, when we start scrimmaging, I'm only get 10 shots. Before practice, I can shoot with my friends because we only got 2 hours on the court. As you know, during practice, how many shots am I really going to get up? Go find a time, find a friend. Go do it on your own. That's the discipline of being a pro. Once I got that part down packed and learned how to do that, then it was like, now I gotta, as I'm gonna get these guys, it's now you gotta play. What are you looking at? How do you beat someone one-on-one? Am I faster than that person? And where's my advantage point on who I'm playing against? As I say offense, it's the same thing as defense. If you're bigger than me, then I need to learn how to keep you out of the paint without fouling. My whole thing is coming back. We're gonna start on the elbow. We'll play it wing here, wing there, and play on both these 2 baskets. So pair up right here. You're on defense, you don't need a ball. So we're gonna check the ball. You play defense first, see. I'm doing it. So as I check the ball, we're playing one-on-one. So I've got 1 dribble, right? And this is 1 dribble. We good? Yeah. Okay, check. Okay. So I'm checking where his stance is right now. And right now, all I want to do, just by jabbing, make him move, right? So firstly, I'm looking at his position. I'm not worried about everyone on the floor because now I'm playing one-on-one. My job is to try and get him to back up. By him backing up, I've got my shot. If I'm open and I've worked on this shot all the time, shoot it. This is what I tell my kids. You got to shoot it, but you also got to be consistent. 7 out of 10 by myself, great. I know I can make that shot 50% of the time if this is just one-on-one. Now, I would prefer to step here, shoot this one, than being here. This is a big difference in our game, which a lot of players in the NBL still haven't got that part in their head. And you watch the NBL throughout the season, you'll see a lot of shots right here and right here. I was like, why? You might as well get all the way to here. Don't have to go all the way there, being in the key way, because if I get to here, he's open. He wasn't ready, but oh, he was. I caught it, yeah. But it's that important of making a difference, because when I drive, what happens is he turns his head, someone on the other side of the floor goes like this, someone can cut and move, which creates opportunity. Then it becomes my decision, what I do with the ball. So right now we're playing one-on-one, 1 dribble. Oh, this is too close. Oh, slowly. Oh, at the rim. Thank you. Here we go, one-on-one. Here we go. So again, with 1 dribble, and my dad always told me, with 1 dribble, you should be able to get to the bucket. And I was like, man, that's a long way from the 3-point line. But a lot of playing one-on-one from the 3-point line, then it became 2 dribbles. So we would play 4 spots. I must have been 14 years old, playing against guys that are 18, and it's like, they just bat my stuff out. Well, you gotta learn how to jab. And the way that I say, it's like playing cross sports, right? So the shadow boxer, as a boxer, I've gotta be able to counterpunch. So I always say that, you know, like, be able to lean back, be able to bounce, be on my toes. Same thing as a jab. When I sit down, if I drop the ball below my knees, this becomes the driver. If I'm here, they don't know what I'm doing. If I hold it up here, as you see in all games, like this here tells everyone that I'm a passer. But in this mode, when I catch the ball, doing this here and looking somewhere here makes everyone jump. If there's a cutter or a screen, on that catch, a pick and roll happens, and I catch and do this here, everyone's like, oh, and on that moment, it's here, being able to rip. So all that training of being in a stance to be able to move and controlling your body is so important, which a lot of kids, they don't get, and they don't know how to react to it straight away. So you got to put them in situations which everyone says, you know, let's do it where it's 3-on-2. Let's not. Let's just put the guys on his side. Start dribbling the ball when he's inside the lane line, he's good. Because now I have to control, can I get in the keyway before I score? Can I create for someone else? What a lot of kids do when you're playing like this, they get so used to, I'm not passing to anyone. So you do too much of this, now they don't know how to pass the ball when someone's open. And it's like, well, whose fault's that? Well, there's all this skill training that I can teach you till you're blue in the face. Work on this double cross move. Well, when are you going to use that? And who against? But for working with someone like Tyrell Harrison, it's like, here's 2 moves for you, and this is where you're going to be good. Will Magnay, his favourite move. Throw the ball down. Where's the ball? Can I see that? Oh, here you go. So Will Magnay's move is cross, tap, and go. And the reason why, because I was like, you only need 1 move. He's athletic. His skill set is more of a rebounder, shot blocker, but you need a move. He's more of a face-up guy than a back to the basket. Right-hand jump hook, he don't have a left hand. Needs to keep working on it, something that you work on every day with a pad. When he plays someone, I'll play bigs versus small. See how that's big, same size. No, at practice, and if you came to practice this morning, you would see it's 3 guards down that end on the 3-point line, 3 bigs under the basket. Close out, coach stands right here, I'm passing the ball at center circle. You got 5 seconds. It's like shot clock. And my whole thing growing up was, hey, always vision my first shot to my last shot in the game of basketball was always acting like I'm playing against someone. 5, 4, 3, back up, 2, his hands are down, 1, shoot it, game, I win. So working on that, and I get him to play one-on-one. If you make a 3-pointer for the guards, it's worth 2 points. On the rebound, if the ball misses and the big grabs the rebound, pass it to me and then post up. Don't go to the block. Why? Everyone's trained right now to go to the block and go play one-on-one from the block. That's not the way you post up. If you're already in the keyway and you're bigger than him, don't walk to the block. Here you go. Throw it right back to him, catch it. Can you finish at the rim? If you finish just outside the charge circle, that's worth 2 points. So this is where our bigs versus little get a chance to play. Now I'm telling my guards, learn how to defend the post players. So in the game, when I say we're hustling or we're switching, and you hear me say this a lot, like, hey, we're rap hustling or we're switching this here. Now you got to go to big. What do teams do? They stop running their offense. Oh, shoot, give it to the big. Well, he can't score on him. I don't want you to foul him. I don't believe he can make that shot. And if he does, there's certain rules that you can have on the backside. Here's, we're gonna double from the free throw line. We're gonna double from the baseline. We're gonna double from the ball side. You can do whatever. You know, on the catch, we're going on the catch. We're going on the bounce. We'll go on the second bounce, depending on where they are. If they catch it automatically in the paint, send the double straight away. But what I'm teaching is, can you arm bar, contain the basketball? For the guys on the post, it's working on can you get deep enough and work on your hook. The mic and drill. Something that's so simple. I've had 3 people from Tassie already since I've been here. They've come in, I was like, I want to see this kid. I've heard a lot about this kid. Bring him to me. So they come in. I said, first thing I do with them all is make 25 mic and drill. The ball misses, you go back to 0. If the ball touches the floor, you're back at 0. So the kid starts doing it. They get to like 15, miss a shot. That's just lucky. They do it, get to like 10, miss one. Then the ball hits the floor, or they bobble it, or they travel. You're back at 0. Now it's 5 minutes in, and he still hasn't got anything done. The kid's looking at me like he's feeling embarrassed. I don't know why you're embarrassed. I said, it's not easy. I know there's no defender, but that's concentration. Same way I need you when you catch the ball and you're open to shoot it and believe in it. But you got to put in the work. You guys keep thinking that you walk in the gym and it's just going to happen. Easier for a kid, it's more confident for them to shoot a 3-point shot than it is for them to be that close to the block. If I miss that, they're like, oh, you know, it slipped. Came out of my hand wrong. But if they shoot a 3 and miss it, it's like, hey, I seen this on Steph Curry do that last week. So it's, you know, the percentages, it doesn't really matter. I need the bucket. And the way and right now with my group, I'll do the free throw line shooting. So I'll make a team. We finish a scrimmage, Make 6 free throws in a row. Hold the ball. Rotate. Down this end. We're down this end. All the guards up top, bigs down low. Pearl, bigs versus littles. Set it up. You don't put your basketballs, just roll them to the side. You guys need a drink? Go get a quick drink. Come back. So, being able to make shots is important in your skill development, but it's also that process, like riding a push bike. Take the training wheels off. You got to keep developing and keep working on it. Put them in situations where they can create their own shots, create space. And this is just a simple example of just getting open, which is, it seems like, that's not much. They're not doing much. Trust me, like when you get and you see someone like Brad Newley and the Joe Ingles, or being able to get by the first line, he's not the fastest guy. You know, Joe's one of the slowest guys, but he has this motion here, do this here to get you to fly by. Same way Steph Curry just goes like that, and everyone's jumping at him, and then he's getting a shot. So it's just by you doing your form and working on it, it's super important. Same way of when you're focusing on your shot, and I say a lot to the guys when they're shooting free throws, it's your end versus this end, 6 in a row. You have 2 minutes, there's 2 minutes on the clock. If you don't get it done in 2 minutes, you don't get your drink. That's not my problem. That's your problem. You can't make a shot. But yet in the game, you want me to put you in the game when you can't make the shot. You know, so I'm asking you to chase over the screens and do certain things. And then this end, you know, you're telling me that you're able to go. And then when we scrimmage, I'll change up scrimmages to, I've said this a little bit of, to make it, everyone tells you that they can play 40 minutes. Coach, I'm good. Why'd you take me out of a ball game? Well, I will scrimmage, and we're playing full court, but anytime there's a foul, it's an automatic bucket. The reason why I do that is so I don't want to stop the game, and I don't want you walking around talking like, well, what do I do now, coach? Because you're tired. What do I do now? So when this happens, am I supposed to go there? Hey, we can talk about that after. I can tell you on the fly, or I'll sub you out and put someone in so you can come stand next to me and I can explain to you what was needed. Then you go back in. That was your breather. But otherwise, this is going to go like this. And when we get up and down, and they're like super tired, and then the scores, then they're like, oh my goodness. I said, but you told me that you're good for 40 minutes. I don't know how you play 40 minutes when you can't. We play 8 minutes, the score is 8 to 4 in 4 minutes, and yet you didn't get up and down the court. You were barely crossing half court. You're not even in a threat position. You're stopping here instead of getting to the corner. You shortcut things. And this is where I start pulling up of, you tell me you're in great shape, but yet you can't get down to the baseline. Down there, it's better spacing. On that kick, I can catch, jab, shot, put it on the deck, swing the ball, and away we go. But they're not interested in that part because that takes work. And so you got to put them in situations where it comes back to, as 40 said, I can show you on tape, but personally, I'm telling you in front of everyone else. And I've got kids in South Australia, when I became the coach, wanting to be development players. And in the NBL 1, they are guns, top scorers. But in the NBL, I said, you're not that guy for me. First, you're not a DP and you want to be a DP. You didn't get that. I said, but how do you become an elite player? Just because you're good as a junior, I need a skill set player. And so certain guys that I picked, so for my development players that you see, and they will play. And not because of injuries and things like that, because they've earned the right to play. And as our season goes forward, you're probably going to see a few of my DPs jump some of the guys that are actually contracted on my roster. And they're going to be like, wow, why do you think that? Because I believe in the kid. He does as he's told, and he's worthy of the shot. So every day when I ask him to do something, he takes it on board, and he goes back and works on it. And then he comes back and he's better prepared for it for the next time. And he keeps showing. So keep putting people in a position to be successful, and they'll reward you tenfold. And a lot of, as Pearl was saying there, so there's the one-on-one part of closing out. And while I'm talking offensive skills, talking defense, right? Because I think it all goes hand in hand. There's one thing of being able to put on deck and blow by someone, and another thing of what's poor in our league is that everyone's like this and they can't stay in front of the ball. 2 dribbles, I'm asking you to stay in front of the basketball for 2 dribbles. If you can't go east and west and stay back and stay in front of the ball, if he's like this, we're in trouble for 2 dribbles. So doing a lot of work of hand above the basketball when he catches it. When the ball is bounced, gap that person. Now there's only a handful of guys that can dribble the ball and pull up and shoot it. On 0, I expect 8 out of 10 if you want to shoot that shot. And we do a lot of shooting stuff. But when you're playing 5-on-5, there's a lot more. The ball's there, I'm right here in this gap. He can't go through this lane without me being here, and he's got to get off the ball. And when the ball gets passed, bang, hand above the ball, and away he goes. On the catch, it's always been triple threat, or on that catch, it's not being stuck where I've got the ball now, I need to dribble it. What happens at all levels, because it's happening in NBL, that you pass the ball to me, and then I'm gonna put it on the deck. I pass to you, you dribble it one time, you pass it again, they dribble it one time. It's like, well, now the defense doesn't shift. So I try to do a lot of that practice of the ball gets passed, you move the ball straight away. If he dribbles it, that's okay. But if you've only got 2 dribbles. So when you watch most of the guys, certain guys try to test that theory of, 3 dribbles max. And with 3 dribbles, if you can't do nothing with 3 dribbles, then you don't need to play with it. And Dusty, my American, he's feeling like he's Steph Curry and he wants to dribble the air out of the ball. And I'm like, you keep testing me and you just sit right here. And the first game he did. So I didn't start him for certain reasons. And he sat there. And he's looking down there like, hey coach, you gonna put me back in the game? Again, keep it simple. 3 dribbles max, get off the ball. Move without the ball, and that's how we become better. And everyone needs to find space, so we have a lane to drive in. We have a chance to play in a gap, and we have a chance to create a play. You good? Show me one more time. Guys, this is normally a big man's game. Good. Good deep catch. Good. Left hand. Use the left hand. So for the big fella learning how to step through, use the left hand, all face up, and then get in here, hold the ball tight, being able to swing back through. So all that footwork is where, again, I could show you a whole 1,000 moves, which you can probably see on TV and work it out, but it's the footwork of being able to step through people, being able to play on the front foot, and the same way I teach offense, same way I teach defense. On defense, if you're on offense and I'm on defense, I don't want you to do what you want to do. And what teams do say, he's going to run up there and go get the ball. Well, here you go, I'm going to stay on the high side and make you go that way. Now that's already messed up your offense. And even though you're going to find a way to get up there, took you a different route, takes you a lot longer, now what? And there's always a counter, but most teams are all about system. He goes from A to B, the flow, for example. So when we did the flow when I went to New Zealand, the flow was basic. Pass to the big, cut through, lift, dribble handoff, lift, pass it through. I was like telling Andre, hold up, no way. Because at first I would play off this drag screen and I would shoot it. I would shoot it 8 out of 10 times. And then Dre's like, you can pass the ball on. I said, first of all, they can't guard me. Because I'm coming off that pick, they gotta come and they gotta show. I'm giving it to Tony Ronaldson. He'll shoot, he's wide open. He can shoot 8 out of 10 from the 3-point line. He would shoot it. Then I dribble off it, hesitate, drive into the paint, pitch it out to Kirk Penny. He would shoot it. And Dre's like, oh, just reverse the ball. So I did that twice. Then I called timeout, and then I decided that I don't touch the ball. So then I start putting the wrinkles in where I start on the 45, and now I'm gonna go down screen. Hey, you curl off me, and I'll come back to the ball. So this is where all the wrinkles start coming in. Why? I said, because if I have a chance to affect the offense, this is the best way I know how. Or I can get the ball back into my hands. The rub cut, come up the middle of the floor. I can get the ball back in the middle of the floor and dictate and play off a pick and roll. The wing catch, and this is where for me, it doesn't matter who you are. Everyone needs to know how to do it. And you'll see throughout the season, my team, I trust in everyone to handle the ball, create and make plays. They'll be able to play from this spot and they'll be able to make decisions. If I'm a big and I'm in this spot, what are you good at? Well, I'm good at screening and rolling or posting up. Well, pass it there and go post up. I didn't tell you that you can't do it. If he's smaller than you, go post up. If he's the same size as you, go set a pick. Like, go set a pick on what guard is available and then play out of a pick and roll. What else is good? Well, just pass the ball to that direction and go screen him. And it's, well, that's not, but I don't have to go from, I'm supposed to cut through. I didn't say that. Like, there's space on the floor for everyone. And as you see, this whole half a court is big. And for our game, right now on that 3-point line, it's small now. You know, with the players that we have in our competition, the athletes that we have, they can cover that sort of space. This is becoming small. So using the whole court. Don't stand on the sideline as always. You got out of bounds, but playing in this sort of space. So now you guys are all tired, so I can play you one-on-one and kick all your butts right now. That's what you're telling me? Grab a quick drink. Give them a round of applause. Any questions?
Was it the belief in the individual players that you've had where you looked so relaxed 20 points down against Tasmania the other night, the most relaxed pre-season coach, 20 down?
Well, clearly we hadn't even played with the effort that we need to play with. And so if you play with it, I've watched my team train enough to know that this is not who we are. And as I said from day one, if you play with effort, energy, and with passion, then it will be what it is. As a coach, I can only control so many different things. But if you can't find it within yourself, then I didn't pick all you guys, but I need you all to come together and fight for each other, which is something that a lot of guys don't like to do, right? Like, it's more pulling against each other of, I'm in the wrong spot, and then blaming one another, well, I've got this guy, or he's in the wrong spot. So there's a lot of that, but yeah, for me, it's more of, this is where we are. Like, we can either fight, or we can, we'll lose by 40, and I'm gonna address the media and be like, oh, well what? We lost. You lose by 40, you lose by 2. Still a loss. Like, we win the next game, what? It was a great miracle, we turned things around. There's some things, as you all know, like, you just need to keep improving as you go along. And while you are going to have a bad day, and there's been plenty of times throughout my career where you get blown out and everyone can hang there and say, well, why am I going to step on your lip? Like, why should I be picking you up off the ground if you can't pick yourself up? But come to practice, and it's not go beat each other up. And this is where guys get, well, they didn't call the foul in the game, so I'm going to run you over. That doesn't work. You yell at me and I yell at you. Sometimes that fires me up, but that's not always the right way. But you also need to allow and understand who your players are, because for those two to fight might pick up his team and he might make him play harder and maybe spark his team. Certain guys that don't play that hard, as you know, you're like, well, this is only going to go one way. And it's like, well, how's that solving anything, right? Like, all we're going to do is start a fight and everyone wants to leave the building. We still have practice to get through. So, you can go sit down and we can keep practicing. And then when you're happy, come back. Go outside of the bin. Go yell at the bin real quick and come back, So.
We thank you, CJ and Daniel. Appreciate that.
I think most of you know Mark. So, yeah, my name's Jacob. Quick background, obviously first year here, as many of us are in Tassie. I did 6 years in Perth prior to being here. So we're going to talk about individual defence. I know he's playing some one-on-one with CJ. We're going to play a little bit more. I don't usually like the sound of my own voice, so the way I'm kind of going to do this is we'll talk for 5 minutes, maybe some quick little questions, and then I'm just going to run you through what half an hour of practice with me would look like, doing some one-on-one blocks and some 2-on-2 and 3-on-3. So I'm not a very good presenter, but I'm an okay coach. I'd rather you just see me coach and we can pick it apart as we go along together. Sound pretty good? Firstly, on individual defence, I want to hit on a couple of key points, and I did a little bit of pre-work, I guess, before I came here, but you are what you can defend. That's a fact. If you can defend 5 spots, great. If you can defend 3 spots, great. Can't defend anything, it's not good, all right? So you are what you can defend, and it's always going to separate you no matter this level. I'd love to sit here and tell you that we don't coach effort, we don't coach intensity at our level, but I'd be lying. We still do. We had a review session this morning. We gave up 98 points last night. We lost by 30, and that's most of what we're talking about is the stuff we're going to be talking about here today. So it's going to separate you. It's going to separate you guys making a state team. It's going to separate younger kids getting into the game, potentially. They might not enjoy it as much if they keep getting blown past and giving up layups and open shots. And in my world, it separates you and what you earn. Like, it separates you what you get paid, separates you if you get a job again, and it's really important. So it all starts here. It really does start with you guys. Defense, my philosophy or my understanding, I think it's really over-taught and over-complicated. I really do, and I think rebounding is the same, and I think some things are just over-complicated for no reason, other than it's very simple. You just got to want to do it. You got to be willing to learn it, willing to embrace it. And I think one thing I've learned, I've been around some really, really good defenders. Damo, Mitch, Jesse in Perth. I'm around Sam McDaniel at the moment. Sunday Desh, who's at Adelaide now, CJ. I spoke to a few of them before I came here tonight, but they're the exception. Like, I'd love to tell you we could find 11 of those and get them on a team, and we all want it. I'd love 11 Damian Martins running around wreaking havoc, but we can learn a lot from them, but they're probably the 2 to 3% group. of exceptional, just they get paid to defend, that's their role, that's what they do, and that's going to be hard to find. You don't have to be a Damian Martin, but you have to learn from him. You have to be really solid and really consistent. And one great guy I've been around the last few years, our new captain, Clint Steindl, you know, his MO was a really poor defender for multiple years, from the time he was in Townsville to Greece to Belgium. And he really bought in to just, I'm going to get to the point where Trev, I might not hit shots, but he can still play me on the floor because I can defend. I am what I can defend. And he could defend multiple positions. He became that guy. So it's really important in this age group. Don't overcomplicate it. Just, you know, encourage them to compete, emphasize as much as you can, and we'll do a lot of that here tonight. But yeah, it's really important that you're emphasizing that early. The other thing I want to point out, like obviously the big thing in today's game is keeping the ball out of the paint. And there's a lot of analytics to support this too. Like it's a world that I live in, but paint touches are so important. Points in the paint are so important. Not every team's going to have elite 7-foot rim protectors that you can just funnel everything to. So ultimately, keeping the ball out. So a lot of what we'll do today, you might have heard no middle, you might have heard whatever it is. We're just going to try and keep the ball out of the paint. It's going to be the focus of pretty much what we do tonight. All right. The last thing I'll say is if I have someone out here, it's going to be easy to explain it. We're doing a lot of one-on-one tonight, right? But ultimately, your job as coaches and our job as coaches is to then put support around that. Like I said before, you're not going to get 5 Damian Martins, so don't expect it. But if this is, who's your favourite player?
Don't have one right now.
Don't have one.
Oh, Ja Morant.
Ja Morant. No, I need someone who can shoot. Sorry, that's disrespectful. Steph. All right, we'll say this is Steph Curry. All right, so if I'm defending Steph Curry, now I'm unathletic, slow, I'm 28, I move like I'm 47, but if I'm defending Steph Curry and you told me this was for my life, right? I'm hedging my bets, and for me, guarding Steph Curry, I'm probably here, right? That's my comfort zone. And a lot of what we'll do today is finding your cushion and your balance that's suited to you. And at this age, I would encourage you to try and get them out of their comfort zone. So, you know, if you're the quickest and the best guy in the gym, I'm telling you to try and get up here. And we can live with some blow-bys and live with the mess a little bit, but I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone at this age. As we get older, you got to find your balance. And my balance right now, if this is Steph Curry, is probably sitting right here. If I get Lockie, to stand behind me. Our job as coaches, once you move forward, and I won't touch on this again, is when your game's 5-on-5, right? And perfect world defensively, there should never be one-on-one battles on the floor. Because you're going to get guys like me that are unathletic, slow, laterally not very good, who we need to be able to defend this. Especially if you're switching and all those advanced crazy things that happens down the track. But we need to be able to defend this. Now, if Lockie's behind me, says, Jacob, I got your back, or captain, or split line, or whatever you call it, maybe, just maybe, that gives me a chance to get up one more step. Because I know he's got my back. And then you've got 3 other guys doing the same thing. So I don't know if you've done a lot of team defense stuff, but that's your job as coaches to then make sure this part's looked after. So the unathletic me can take one more step, maybe a bit more ball pressure, maybe a better contest, the percentages drop. Does that make sense to everyone? So it's really, really important. We'll do a lot of one-on-one here. The 2 biggest things for you guys in this next 30 minutes is I just want you to compete. It's defensive stuff that we're focusing on, but offensively, I'm not going to talk about it. You should be wanting to get on the rim. You are doing a disservice to your teammates if you don't get after it offensively. Does that make sense? We're good? All right, I'll get you guys out on the floor for me. Just get, how many do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Any quick questions before we start? We're good? All right, I'm going to get 5 of you with a basketball here. Just along that red line somewhere. And 5 of you along, let's go along this tape line here. Doesn't really matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, first thing we're going to tick into is just some ball pressure. And we're going to talk about a couple of things. So I'm going to tick off, spread yourselves out. You need plenty of room. Plenty of room. Across from your partner. Yeah, sweet, not crazy. Ja Morant, come back towards me, brother. All right, so we're going to talk about a few things. Closeouts, ball pressure, rebounding. Again, I'm not going to go crazy into detail. Our job is just put them in environments where they're feeling these things in different spaces. All right, closeouts aren't as simple as what this drill looks like, and hopefully by the end of it, we're in some different situations where they're a lot more difficult and challenging. Hence, the learning begins, and we just learn from our mistakes, and we keep building forward. Pretty good. First drill is a real simple one. You might have done something like this before. I'm going to blow the whistle. You're going to pass it to your teammate. You're going to close out. All right, your job. Let's throw it. Demonstration. Good. Let's actually go one big step back, just so we get a bit of a run up. Your job is to sprint, slow yourself down, hands up. I don't care what you do. You can go 1 hand, 2 hands. Just need to have 1. You're going to come up. What's your name?
Zai.
Zai, you're going to be sardines?
Zai.
Oh, Zai. Oh, I was going to say sardines, big product up here. All right, so ball, you close out, roll over the ball. Your job, pivot, move as much as you can, keep him honest, 1 foot, good. You're just going to trace it, perfect. If he sticks the ball above his head, you're going to jam him up, preferably maybe one forearm, one hand on the ball. That's it. On my second whistle, you're done. Easy, really quick. You're gonna break yourself down. Ready, set, go. Good. All right, keep the ball. Head back to your spot. This line you're going. Ready? Good. All right, offense, not bad. Good. All right, reset. Sorry, second whistle, come back. All right, biggest thing here, you gotta be low and wide as much as you can. You're trying to attack their feet. So like I said before, I spoke to Sunday before I came here today. I said, Sunday, what's your biggest thing you would teach a young kid when playing defense? He said, really got to attack pivot feet. Much as you can, attack pivot feet. They put that ball above their head, jam them up. If you're split here and you can turn him over their shoulder and I want to attack here, push him up and then ride him up here, that's a perfect world, all right? Because we're doing a drill, but what can't you see right now? You can't see anything in the floor, right? So attack the feet, be really live with your feet, be low and wide. Your head shouldn't be, coaches, if you're watching, there shouldn't be any of this going on with the head, right? We shouldn't be, because ultimately in a game, once you throw a shot fake, I come out of a stance, my head comes up and bang, you're gone, all right? So low, head to the ground, low and wide feet, a little bit more activity with your feet and attack and pivot feet, a little bit more hand activity. Ready? Last rep. Good. Ball above your head, ball above your head. Good. All right, one more hit. Last rep here, let's make it a good one. Ready? Pivot, pivot, pivot. Good, good. All right, easy. Now, you guys are going to take a big step towards me on that side. You guys are going to take a big step back. Second dribble this time. I just want to see what you do. We're going to take 2 retreat dribbles and pick the ball up. All right, you ready? Good. 2 retreat dribbles once they've been there first. All right, let's run it back. Here we go. So you're going to pass, you're going to trace. On my second whistle, we'll then retreat. Make sense? So you're still going to do the first thing you're doing, and then the second one we're going back. Ready, set, go. Good. Crawl in. Good. All right, walk it back. So the next biggest thing that Damo, Mitch, Sunday, Sam all said to me, the common one was take away space. What's your ability to take away space? All right, and this is quite easy here because I've told them what's about to happen, but this might be a pick and roll. All right, what's your name? Oliver's got the ball, and I'm in a game, we're running back in transition, and then, what's your name? Lockie comes to set a screen on me, and I hear from Zaya, screen's coming left. Can I take away space and then get in and get over a pick and roll? It's really tough to do, really tough to do. And so these drills, while they're a little bit monotonous and a little bit, oh, we're just getting through it, that's what you've got to be thinking about. This might be easy, but can I get into the ball on a Steph Curry or a Ja Morant and then get over a pick and roll, get under a pick and roll, get back to square? All right, really, really important. We good? Let's go one more rep. Who hasn't been yet? This side. Ball here. Ready? Good. Move your feet, move your feet, move your feet, move your feet, move your feet. Here we go, retreat. Crawl in, jam it up. Good. All right, what are we probably saying once you crawl in and jam it up? It's terminology here. Ball, dead, dead, dead. Dead dribble, we crawl up in space. Let's go one more hit. I want us to hear dead, dead, dead. This time when you crawl in. Ready? Once they pick up that dribble, we're dead, dead, dead. Last one. Good. Here we go. Good. All right, really good. Hold there. Everyone got any questions with that? That's how I started every single one of my practices with under 16 nationals 2 years ago. Just a bit of ball pressure. We changed spots on the floor. I'll show you how we add to it in a little bit with some one-on-one, but that's just how I got them started pretty much every day. All right. Let's go, moving on to the next drill. We're going to do some warming up. Pretty much what I'm going to do today is we're going to start around the rim. We're going to keep building progressively out until these guys are playing full court one-on-one. All right, so we'll just see the block build up progressively. We'll talk about some key things in each part, but ultimately, D-trans rules here. Does everyone, I'm assuming, have ball in their D-trans rules at some point? So level the ball off, declare the ball, whatever your rules are. So that's the hardest thing to do. So we're going to start in here with what I think is probably easiest, relatively speaking. Then we'll build to that level of can you stop the ball in transition? That's elite stuff, but can you stop it and slow the ball down? All right, so around the rim, this is going to be really quick. I just want to show you there's so many of these drills. Give me one line under the hoop, one line at the block here. Block, someone under the middle, and everyone else behind Ja Morant. Thank you. You're facing there. This is really quick. We do a bunch of these all the time. You can do, I'm sure you've seen all these one-on-one warm-up drills, different finishing drills where you start with a bit of disadvantage, advantage stuff. This is a real simple one. How we're going to rotate is you're coming in to this spot, you're going to here, you're going out, you're going to here. We good? We're just going to move one spot. I'm going to try and get you all a rep each in the middle. Does that make sense? Real simple. Your job, whichever way this ball goes, you have no dribble. You're just stepping up towards the rim, so you should be low and wide, ready to go, anticipating. Once that ball goes, your job is to make him make the toughest shot possible. Yep. Make sense? You can't foul though. If you foul, you're going again. So what's your wall-up technique? What are you thinking? If I throw the ball to Lockie and you meet him there, what's your thought process? Good. You going with that hand in there? Good. Maybe hands up, thumbs behind ears is always a good one. Up and back, right? But we don't want to give away fouls here. I'm fine if he makes that shot from right there. If he doesn't get, we're good. We're living, right? We're good? Here we go. It's going to be good. There's no passing. You're just straight up, whichever way I go. You ready? I'm a really good passer, so you have to be, you good? Here we go. Good. All right, rotate. Next one. Here we go. You're in the middle. Going to get one rep each. We're ready? On your toes. Wall up. Hold up. So it's a good example of, like I said before, I think you're doing a bit of a disservice if you're not attacking the rim. Right, he's not getting better from that. That's not really good offense for you. I want you to be thinking finish, finish, finish. Good? Here we go. Who's in? We're good? Here we go. Good. Force tough shot. That's all right. Here we go. Here we go, big fella. Here we go. Wall up, wall up, wall up. Good. All right, next one. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hate dead time. Here we go. Good. 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 Here we go. Next one up. Next one up. Keep moving through. Keep moving through. Here we go. Good. Good. Next one up. Wall up. Go and meet him. Go and meet him. Go and meet him. Good. Yeah, think it out. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Good. Next one up. Tough shot. Like it. Here we go. Let's kill this ball because this is frantic. Here we go. Good. Got no dribble. Good. Force a tough shot. Fantastic. Here we go. Next one up. Next one up. No fouls. Next one up. Here we go. Tough shot. Straight up, Lockie. Good. Next one up. Ready? Wall up. Good. That's a foul. One more. One more. Run it back. Run it back. Here we go. Execute. Execute. Here we go. Straight up. Good. Maybe also still a foul, but I'll give it to you. All right. Here we go. One more. Last one. Last one. Good. Really good. Everyone happy with that? Done something similar before? Seems like nothing, but it's such an important part of the game. So important. How many foul shots did Perth shoot last night? Too many. We're giving up way too many, and 17. So we're giving up a lot of undisciplined ones, but a lot of it's here at the rim. Can you be confrontational at the rim, not give up a foul, but force a tough shot? You have to live with the consequence every now and then. That's pretty good. How many did we make? Anyone make one? Made a couple? Was that 2 of, how many are here? 10? Made 3 of 10. 30% at the rim. We're pretty happy. We're pretty good. All right. Next drill, real simple one. We're going to move through quick. I would do this longer. I would score it. I'd maybe say stay in there for, you got to get 2 stops to get out. I'm just giving you guys as much as I can, but you can put the parameters on it however you like. All right. One big thing I learned, and it was my first nationals experience. We had 8 practices before we went to a nationals. You have to live with the mess a little bit. That wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. Part of it was my fault because we were just rushing through it. You've got to live with the mess. All right. More reps, more emphasis, the better. If we stand here and talk about technique, we're in a little bit of trouble. All right. Next drill, real simple one. Give me a line out here, 5 of you out there, 5 of you out here on the sideline. Need 2 balls on this side. Some of you guys might have seen this drill too. Another really simple one. Lockie, you're going to dribble behind me. I'm going to be standing right here facing this ring. You're going to dribble. Ja Morant, you're coming over the top. As this happens, you're going to hand back. Good. Hand it back. Both turn the corner around me. We're going to go finish on the rim. Really good. Lockie, what's your job?
Roll hard.
No, so you're going to contest.
Oh, okay.
Yep, you're playing defense. Wall up. Force tough shot. What's your job? Finish. All right. Very simple. Okay. Adding something. All right. Here's where the rebounding comes in. We're playing until you get the ball. All right. Now, if it goes in, you can score it again. So, for example, let's come around. Different names for this. I stole this off a clinic I saw at Peter Lonergan do in Perth, and I've loved it ever since, especially at this age group, just to encourage the idea of actually completing the possession. So, what's your actual name, dude? Max? Yeah. Max scores the ball, right? And gets the ball again, that's 1 point. If he scores again, great, that's 2 points. The only way the drill finishes is if it's a miss, so just miss it for me. That's tough. Lockie gets it, or he makes it. Good. Lockie gets it, not only gets it, but clears it out of bounds as quick as he can, and then gets the ball back to the sideline. That's the only way the drill finishes. We're good with that? We're good? Yep. Here we go. On the rim, on the rim, on the rim. Finish. Get it, Lockie. Get it, Lockie. Get it, Lockie. Get out of bounds. No, not on a miss. My bad. Here we go. Good. Wall up, wall up, wall up. No foul, no foul. You're good. That's a stop. Get out. Next one. Here we go. On a miss, you don't have to take it out. It's my bad. Good. Force a tough one. Good. Rebound it. Good. Keep hold up. Keep playing. Good. That's a stop. Here we go. Get on the rim. A little loose. Good. Finish it. Good. On a miss, you're good. Here we go. Next group. Don't go early. On the rim. On the rim. On the rim. Good. Keep playing. Come on. Get that ball. Get it out of bounds. Good. Here we go. Next group. Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing. That's a foul. Keep playing. You got to get it. You got to come up with it. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. I love it. I love it. Hold up. That's a really good example. I watched this drill with Luke Jackson. He scored 12 times in a row. 12 times in a row. But Max, what were you thinking after the third time of jumping and hating it? What did you think? What did you do? I saw you do it. But just took a little bit of body, took a little bit of space. It was tough because you're under the ring, and it's probably the worst place for you to be because what's Lockie got out the back? He's got height and he's got all the space. So any back taps or anything he's got, and you just force yourself under the ring, you're kind of stuck there. But you did something really cool, which was just decide, all right, I'm going to back up and take some space back. Ball fell in front of you. All right, really good little moment. I love it. Let's swap sides of the floor. Swap sides with the ball. Yep. We've got 5 more reps. 5 more reps. Here we go. On the rim, on the rim, on the rim. Wall up, wall up, wall up. Good. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Wall up, tough shot. Go get it, go get it. Get it out of bounds. Good. Here we go. Next one. Good. Hold up, hold up, hold up. There's a lot of you guys that are, there's lots of hands going on here. All right. There's lots of hands on hips. They're easy ones for refs to call. Thumbs behind ears is 1, good because it keeps you going backwards with the momentum, but 2, shows refs these. All right, so the moment you do this, doesn't matter what it is, it's a foul and it's done with. You got to get to your spot, thumbs behind ears, force a tough shot, be as big as you can. You got 2 more. Here we go. Come on, get there, get there, get there. Come on, get there, get there, get there. Good. That's a tough shot. Rebound it. Good. You're done. Last one. Good. Like it. Get out of bounds. Good. Like it. Anyone know why I was getting him to take it out of bounds? Like a game. All right. Really big one, just get it out as quick as you can, get the ball back in and we go again. Grab a quick drink, grab a quick drink. Any questions with any of that stuff, guys? All good? All right, next one, let's move on. Let's go, we're gonna come back to our ball pressure drill. Now we're gonna move it to the 45, all right? And we're gonna play live out of this on the whistle. So if I get Max on the block and Lockie here on the wing, good. And I'm gonna get the same thing on the other side of the floor. And then we may as well use both hoops. No, actually, let's just join 2 lines. So partner up, have guys coming in on the baseline. You guys are good. Good. Got to live with the mess a little bit here. We've got 2 games of one-on-one going at the same time. All right, a little bit of traffic. That's all right. We can figure it out. We good? You need a ball, big fella? On the whistle. First drill we did. Pass the ball. All right? Ball tracing. You pivot. You're live. Now offense. Fight to square up. Use your feet. We're good? Second whistle, we're live. Got 3 dribbles max, all right? We're just gonna go straight into it. We're good? What's your job, Max? Ball, yep. Perfect. And I want all of you to get out of your comfort zone here, all right? Get on the ball, close the touch, get all into Lockie's space, take some space away, try and dictate what's going on. What was one of the first things I said in terms of rules, in terms of where we're directing stuff? Do you remember? Out of the paint. So your friends here are elbows and boxes. Right? Let's just stick with that for now. So if you can push Lockie anywhere below that block and anywhere above this elbow, that's a win for you. All right? We good? Here we go. Good. Here we go. Good. A little bit of traffic. Like it. Rebound. Good. Next one. Here we go. Stay in. You want to stay in, Max? I respect that. Stay in. Why not? Here we go. Come out when you get a stop. We ready? Here we go. Good, I like it. Tough shot, tough shot, tough shot. Play and finish, rebound, good. Next one, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Dead time. Ready? Good, here we go. Good. Good, rebound, love it, good. Next one, here we go. Good. Good, all right. Hold there. What do we think? What do we reckon? Now the jabs and there's some stuff in players and lifts. So what just happened on that one? Talk me through it.
We jabbed that one after the
Yep. So you're a little bit maybe off balance?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you were low enough?
No.
Probably not. So your stance is so important. In this position, I don't mind if you're like you were straight on, and if we're pushing here, you can just be a little bit nose to high shoulder and dictate a little bit. But you were so far off, at the moment there was one jab, bang, and then you open up the gate. That's tough, all right? That's tough. So we go same thing now. You guys are gonna hold. We're gonna play this side of the floor. Now we're gonna bring back in our rebounding rule. Play until you get the ball. We good? Here we go. Good. Good. Now you got to rebound. Now you got to rebound. Good. Good. Here we go. Next group. Here we go. You guys get ready on this side. Good. Rebound. 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 You need it. You need it. You need it. Keep playing. Keep playing. Good. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Good. Next group. Here we go. Get ready over here. Get ready over here. Good, Lockie. Slide your feet. Get it. Got to clear it. Got to clear it. Good. Here we go. 3 dribbles. Good question. Here we go. Tough. Maybe a foul. Keep playing. Come up with the ball. Come up with the ball. Good. Here we go. Last one. Tough. Everyone happy with that last shot? We're living with it. That's a tough shot. It's going to happen multiple times, but decent job. All right. You're going to hear guard your yard, low man wins, win the first step, no middle. You're going to hear different terminologies, and you'll find your own as well as you're going through. The most important thing is getting out of your comfort zone at this age group. All right. It doesn't matter what it is. The biggest pet peeve for me is when I go to these camps and I see kids start to play the game a little bit, and I'm running at the max, and like I said before, I was unathletic. I knew all the tricks. I go to these camps all the time, trying out for 16, 18 state teams. I'm like, all right, I'm going to back my percentages here and close out to here. Coach will think I'm pretty good because, Max might settle, shoots a long 2, and I'm just backing up the whole time. But in reality, I'm doing myself no favors, I'm doing you no favors. It's no good. All right, so close to touch. Let's see how much of it. If we get beaten by a couple of times, then we adjust. As we get going, we find our balance. Might close and then jump off and gap a little bit. Might sting it and get back. There's all different ways of approaching it. But ultimately, at the age group you guys are at, get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. All good? Yes. All right. Let's see one more different variation of one-on-one. Give me anyone under the ring for me. Someone here facing towards the ring. Someone here facing up towards the other end of the floor. Good. Now I've got a ball. So you're back to back. Yep. Figured it out. There we go. Clever. You're going to go one more step lower. Different ways of doing this. You can do it from 45. You saw CJ had a really good drill before actually he was running over here with the bigs and littles. Your one-on-one stuff, there's hundreds and thousands of drills you can do with different variations. This is one we've done a little bit of over the pre-season. We've moved it to the wings. All's going to happen. I'm going to slap the ball. You're going to go touch. It's not a great court for it. You're going to go touch that elbow on the other court there. Good. You're going to go get the coach's hand. Good. Come back. Throwing you the ball. We're playing. All right. Ideally, you're getting up towards above the 3-point line, and we're keeping them at the elbows. That's your reference point. Elbows, elbows, elbows. We're good? Here we go. Good. All right, hold there. So now you're starting to see us, we're building up, right? Now Max is downhill. So no longer is he planted on the 3-point line and he's got no momentum. Now he's got some bit of pace coming at you. This is D-trans. This is gets a high step-up screen and he's getting downhill and he's coming at you. So Lockie, you probably got to find the balance a little bit, right? So give me 2 more guys in. So this is where reps, I know I'm talking a lot, I hate it, I should pull myself up on it, but this is where the reps are so important because Lockie, if you're out of practice and I start ranting on about, oh, we've got to be better at this and we gave up 60 points on the weekend to Penguin when we're playing them or whatever, Lockie's sitting there for 10 minutes, doesn't get a rep at it again. So his last rep in the last experience was getting blown by and giving up a layup. And then in that time, we could have had 3, 4 more little learning experiences, more little wins, more little positive feedback loops for him to be able to find that cushion. And then continually over the course of 6 to 8 weeks to 2 years, now he's finding where he is on the floor, D-trans, you know where he's at. Really important. You guys ready? Sorry, I'm talking so much. Here we go. Good. Good. Tough shot. Good. Finish, finish, finish. Come on, come on, come on. Yes, love it. Good. Here we go. Next up. 2 more. A little bit more ball, ball, ball. I know it's been a long night. A little bit more juice. Guys on the baseline, you can be involved as well. Be a part of the drill. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Good, good. Good. All right, here we go. Keep playing. Get it, get it. Good. Next up. Here we go. Might need to tidy up a bit of offense. You got time. There's no shot clock. Go. Here we go, Zaya. Let's see it, Zaya. Let's see it. Good. Good. Rebound. Good job, big fella. Way to get back to it. Here we go. Next up. Here we go. Way too easy. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Next one. Next one. Here we go. Good. Tough shot. Here we go. Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing. Love it, Lockie. Keep playing. Come on, defense. Come on, defense. Come on, defense. Come on. Keep playing, big fella. Keep playing. That's a tough shot. Now you got to go get it. Now you got to go get it. There you go. Good. Like it. Here we go. Love it. Let's go. Coaching on the ring. Just make sure you stand up. Perfect. Here we go. Good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Keep playing. Keep playing. Nice, Max. I like it, Max. Good. Here we go. You good? I got good hands, brother. Here we go. Ball side. Yes. Go, go, go. Not perfect. Nice. Go get it. Go get it. Good. Like it. Last one here. Got one more. Good. Last one. Ball side. Here we go. Ball's in. Tough shot. Tough shot. Tough shot. Go get it. Go get it. Keep playing. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good job. Good job. All right. That's pretty good. Give him a round of applause. Good. All right. You guys need a drink? Need a quick one? You good? All right. Love it. Love it. All right. Here's the next drill. We're going to work across halfway here. I know that sideline over there is pretty tight. Let's start you on that side. I need you to partner up, have a ball between 2. Any questions with any of that stuff? All right, these next couple are like D-trans drills. So now we're picking up the length that you got to cover. Now the cushioning becomes really important. Again, I'd encourage you to get them out of their comfort zone. If they can pick the ball, like perfect world, like I said before, the small 2-3% of defenders can defend for 90 feet. Matty Kenyon, young fellow we've got at the moment, he's got a job in the league because he can defend for 90 feet of the floor, all right? But not everyone's going to be able to do that, I guarantee it. So this drill is all about finding your balance, trying to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, test the waters, and ultimately keep adjusting as you go, all right? Really easy, you're going to both start on that side. Either side of the halfway line. This is a drill I stole from 40, who you guys saw tonight earlier. You're going to be a couple of steps over, you're going to be facing each other. You're going to pass the ball and move towards me. Move, move, move. Keep passing it, keep passing it, keep passing it. As soon as I yell go, hold there. Whoever's got the ball, one-on-one. It's going there. Good. Next group's going just after. We good? That hoop. If this person's got the ball, go on that hoop. We good? Here we go. Go. Next group. Get on the rim, get on the rim. Go. Keep playing, keep playing. Go. Oh, I didn't want it. Go, go, come on, come on, come on. Go. Go. Good. Keep playing, come up with it. Good. Hold there, hold there, hold there. We happy with the drill? All right. It's very frantic, I get it. So just guys in the next part of the drill, just wait until this drill's finished and then we're going. All right, so we'll get 2 through and then we'll wait and then we'll get 2 more through. We good? Here we go. Go. Good, next up, here we go. Go. Come on, big fella, find your space, find your space. Pretty good, not bad. Offensive players, get downhill. Go. Here we go. Go. Get on the rim, get on the rim, get on the rim, get on the rim. One more. Go. Last one, finish it off. Good, hold there. Everyone happy with that? All right, we're gonna add to it again. Now with your partner, you're at separate ends of the floor. So Lockie down there, Max, you're down there. You guys split, so you partner down one end and the other. One end with the ball. So again, D-trans is all about how much can you level off the ball. Usually, depends on your rules. Do you pick a sideline to try and channel it there if you can? Most offenses would try and cross the street, play out of some drags and things like that. Can you push the ball to one side of the floor? Can you level the ball off? We're not talking about D-trans tonight, but D-trans is all about buying time. All about buying time. So while this might not seem like anything, you guys are on the baseline? You guys are on the baseline? While this might not seem like anything, you're buying time for 4 other people. All right, so that's why D-trans is so important. So Lockie, you're gonna roll the ball to Max. Can't leave until he gets you. So a decent roll. You're gonna follow it. One-on-one coming back. We're good? You're full tilt. Your one job, Max, is what? Go score the ball and finish. Love it. We're good? I want you to test how early you can meet this ball. How early can you meet it, dictate it, and pick a side of the floor? It's up to you. Here we go. Good. I love it, Lockie. I love it. I love it. Now you got to work. Now you got to work. Now you got to work. Wall up. It's tough. Maybe a foul. Keep playing. Good. Next group. Here we go. Oh, it's a veteran roll right there. A little bit of bounce. Good. Ah, all right. Good, 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 good. Next group. Next group. Hey, Max, can you just move that ball for me, dude? The one on the baseline. Thank you. Here we go. That's ball. Okay, that's, yep. Come on, come on, come on. Get in front, get in front. Oh, like it, like it. You're right. All right, so hold on. A couple of you guys, I love the ambition. It's really good. You're putting a lot of pressure on our D-trans, that's fine. We're rolling it. Some of the rolls have been very questionable, but I'm okay with that too. But once you get to this point where you're with Zaya and you're beside him, so if I'm alongside him, there's no longer a slide, right? This is if Zaya has a ball right now. Actually, let's go with you. What was your name, buddy? Max? Another Max, like it. Come up here for us, Max. If I'm running alongside a Max in this position, this is no longer a textbook slide, slide, slide. I'm not very quick, but I'm running to a spot. I'm picking a spot in the floor. I'm disengaging his hip, and I'm picking a spot. It might be that NBL logo, and I'm sprint, and as he's getting up here, that's when I turn and I have another crack. All right? It's not sitting on his hip the whole time, then he's snaking back in front of me, and now I'm out of the play. That's where D-trans becomes a nightmare. Everyone good with that? Let's go a couple more. I like the ambition. I like it. Here we go. Come on, Max. Come on, Max. What do you got? Come on, come on, come on. Sprint, 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 sprint. Wall up now, wall up. Oh, don't jump. Don't jump. Keep playing. I like it, Zaya. Keep playing. Come on, Max. Love it. Love it. Here we go. One more. All right, let's finish on a better one than that. Come on, Max, let's see it. Let's get a stop. Let's finish on a stop. Come on, come on, come on, come on. That's it. Pick a spot. Slow the ball. You got to slow it. You got to slow it down. I don't mind it. Wall up. Great wall up. Really good. Keep playing. That's pretty good. All right, hold there. Everyone good with that? Jump on down here for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's some one-on-one stuff. Like I said, there's hundreds of those drills. They're everywhere all over the internet. You got to know what your rules are. If you're a no middle team, if you're a pack team, if you're a square team, it's entirely up to you. All right? I've always been no middle personally myself, and I find it the easiest one. Nose to high shoulder, push it towards the baseline, you got your help coverage, but it's entirely up to you. All right? But biggest thing, like I said before, comfort zone. Don't be that person that lets that kid get away with a short closeout. All right? Try and encourage them as much as you can, because they don't realize it now, and we as professional coaches are grateful for it when we get that kid that comes through and just loves it. The Matt Kenyons, the Sunday Dash, those kind of kids that just embrace it. But it starts here with you guys. And the competitive stuff, can you make drills more competitive, more enticing to go get a rebound, more enticing to go get a stop? It's really important. We're going to cover off, I know I'm running out of time, a couple of drills. Like I said before, the closeouts are great in the ball pressure drills, and you can do closeout drills for days. There's hundreds of millions of them. The college coaches love them. You can push them out all the time. Biggest thing for me in closeouts is creating different situations where you can encourage closeouts. So it might be on a rotation with a pick and roll. In this drill, we're going to do it in like a shell rotation. Can you close out? You know, that's the hardest thing to do in basketball, from helping on the baseline on a drive and then getting back to your man and close out and play. All right, so we're just picking up different situations. So give me yellow out here with the ball. Give me 2 wings and 2 slots. Yep. One more slot, yellow. Yep. You're in the slot over here. And red matchup. 4 and 4. Sorry, my bad. 4 and 4. This is how the drill's going to work. Whatever your rules are, everything's close out to touch. We're jumping to the ball. We won't talk too much about it, but I need you space. A slot for me is just in the elbow, good. Offense off the line, I love it. Spacing's elite. You guys been doing offense. So you're gonna pass the ball, close to touch. You're gonna jump to the ball. We're not gonna talk about it. Pass the ball, good. You're gonna drive baseline for me. You're gonna kind of let him go baseline a little bit. I know that's going against everything I'm saying. Just for the sake of the drill, you're gonna help. Good. You're gonna fill behind. You're gonna throw it. Hold there. No, you're gonna stay. Love where your head's at. I love it. Max, you're gonna lift up. What's your name? Lockie, you're gonna lift up. We're gonna zip the ball. Zaya, you're getting back to your own. And we're playing. All right? We're playing live out of that. Here's the rule. Defense, you don't get out until you get a possession where they don't get in the paint. We're good? So they literally cannot enter the paint. This is not the paint, so this is fine. But anywhere, let's go below the first hash mark 2 is all right. So if you push them below this first hash mark and anywhere in along here, I'm good, all right? And then we're just staying home. Let's see how it looks. We good? Here we go. Good. Come on, Zaya, come on, come on. Keep playing, come on, Red. Come on, come on, come on. Nice, Lockie, nice. Good, good, good. Close out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, there. How many times we hit the paint? 3? This is a tough drill. This is a hell of a drill. It's actually an awful drill. I probably shouldn't be doing it, but it's a really good drill to talk about keeping the ball out of the paint. The saying I heard for 6 years in Perth was rebound forgives all sins. All right, so now we're gonna add to it. All right, you've done one hit of the drill. Anytime, I stole this from Mark Radford, we're gonna use it tonight. Anytime you get a ball, even if you're on defense, you can go back and score it. All right, everything's an offensive rebound. Are we good? Whoever finishes with the last score, so sorry, I'm skipping along. We just did one rep of one drill with the paint. That's off now. Are we good? That's off. Now we're just playing the same exact drill, but now we're concentrating on the rebounding part of it. We good? So Red, if you get a stop and you get it, you go back and finish, that's a point, and you're gonna start with the ball in the next one. We good? Here we go. Good, good. Come on, Zaya, come on, Zaya. Rebound, rebound, rebound. Go and score it. Good, good. Hold there, red ball, up top. We're playing first team to 2 points. So you can win it here, Red. Here we go. Good, good, good. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. Good, good. Come on, wall up, wall up, wall up. Stay in it. Good. All right, hold there. That's pretty good. All right, so I know that last bit was rushed. Your 3-on-3 drills, your 4-on-4, you can still emphasize one-on-one components. So whether it's, hey, a blow by, we're going again, a missed box out, we're taking a point off, you want to go offensive rebounds, a -1. Your parameters on drills are the most important thing about the drill. It's not the drill itself, it's how you construct it to value particular things. All right, it's really, really important. That's pretty much it. That's good timing from me, 5 seconds. Thank you, lads. Round of applause to these guys. Not last. Is there any questions before Nick hands over? Feel free. Yep, go for it.
Just one. So, talk about being in the comfort zone.
Yep.
Just how much do you emphasise not needing the help? So you say the closer you can get, you say if you've got help behind.
Yes.
Just how much? I don't need my help behind.
Yep.
I'm going to guard mine.
Yeah, mate. A lot of last night's problems we talked about comes back to just being able to guard the yard, especially with the trends of basketball, like the 5-out spacing. It's the floor is bigger. Like CJ was talking about before, the floor is bigger. It's just something we have to deal with. So it comes back to how well you can defend and stay out of rotations is the most important thing on defense, right? I've said that a lot tonight. It's the most important thing on defense. There's a lot of important things on defense, but one of the biggest ones is, especially early in the clock, the pace is so high now, that sub 14-second offensive category is huge. Like Perth we played last night, 50% of their offense was in the first 14 seconds of the clock. So can you stay out of rotations in the first 14 seconds? Comes back to those drills. Can you slow the ball down? Can you one-on-one slow it down and not need any help, not need an aggressive plug, not need an aggressive pick and roll coverage? And then when it gets into the half court, can you sit down and guard a stance? And we're emphasizing it every day. We'll continue to emphasize it every day. It doesn't stop, but it's so important. It puts too much pressure on the other 3 or 4 guys on the court.
Can I, obviously put our hands together for Jacob for presentation. On behalf of myself and Basketball Tasmania, we really appreciate so many coaches coming along tonight and and I, sitting there, I took a lot of notes myself, and pretty cool to just see different styles of presenting, and I thought the three presenters we had all complemented each other really nicely, their different styles. I really appreciate all the work you guys do, whether it's in the club space, or as a network coach, or a state coach, and I think CJ and a couple of the coaches mentioned it throughout tonight. Like what you guys do and the work you do at your level is just so valuable to creating future NBL and WNBL players. So thanks for coming along tonight, and I'm sure we'll see most of you tomorrow night for the games. So thanks guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.